Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Artist Showcase with Ralph. We're here every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock or somewhere thereabouts. And tonight, our special guest is Carter Lansing of Acoustic Kitty Project. So, everybody say hello to Carter. Hey, Carter, how we doing tonight?
Doing well, Ralph. Just trying to put some more wood on the fire. It's cold out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little chilly. I guess December decided to get here, huh?
Eventually, like it or not.
Yeah. I opt for or not. Not a big fan of cold weather.
Yeah, me neither. Not anymore.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Head to Florida. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink some
That'll
brandy.
work too. Me, I just have iced tea. Maybe I should have gotten some whiskey.
Which goes well with bourbon.
Yeah, exactly. So how you been, man?
Well, aside from the collapse of Western civilization, pretty good.
Yeah,
Everything's considered, but we're making it through. It's been weird, but good. A lot of new stuff, a lot of new ideas, a lot of time to think, a lot of time to reinvent stuff. So yeah, it's a good
that's
thing.
awesome. So then we can expect at least some really great acoustic kitty project music to come out of this whole pandemic thing, right?
Well, you're going to get some acoustic kitty project music for sure. That's, I guess, whatever epithet you want to throw at it is yours, but I think they're pretty good. Sounds. I'm happy with it. I'll play a couple of tunes for you tonight if you want.
Cool.
We'll talk about
Sounds
it.
awesome. So are you in the process of recording, or just right now you're taking your time and writing and putting things together and getting the project ready?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of both, really. I got this crazy idea because so many people have been doing remote recording and trading tracks back and forth and using the technology that we all have in front of us. And so I've seen a lot of projects happen that way. And I've taken a couple of the demos that I started working on, and I'm starting to send them around to some different people to sort of help me record the demos. So rather than going in as a solo singer songwriter, acoustic guitar and vocal, I'll actually have a little bit more arrangement to it, and I'm looking to some different people that I don't normally work with in that capacity. So hopefully it's going to help, get a little bit different feel, a little bit different sound out of it. Just
Cool.
trying to put things upside down and see what they look like.
Yeah, that's always a good idea. Change never hurts anything, and
Yeah, well, if you control it, if you can,
right.
if you find a way to make the change work for you, then I think it's
Yeah,
probably it's a good trade off.
yeah. I mean, if you go
Start
from
at
the
home,
typical,
making a new album, right?
yeah, if you go from the typical Carter Lansing acoustic kitty project sound to hardcore rap, then that's probably not a good change. But
Yeah, that might jar a few folks, and I promise you will probably never hear me rap. I don't think
yeah,
I cannot say never because there is whiskey in the world, so that might just be the wild card, but you never know.
I don't know if I could drink enough whiskey to do that.
What's that?
I don't know if I could drink enough whiskey to do that.
Yeah, well, you should try it sometime.
Yeah. All right, so said you're going to play some stuff for us that's new, huh?
Yeah, I think yeah, I'll do some new material tonight. I got a couple of cover tunes too that I've been playing around with.
Cool.
But you know what? Let me do. Yeah, there's this one I've been. So there's one that I've been playing for a little while, but this is definitely going to be going on onto some new recording at some point. It's one that's in the mix for these demos. It's doesn't really have a title, but I'm calling it "Lonely" because that's the most obvious word in the song. So that's all good. I don't wanna see you cry. I don't wanna say goodbye. It just happened this away. Though I wish that I could stay, but the music's calling me. There's some place I gotta be, in some dark and dirty bar, too far away from where you are. You're not the only one that's lonely. You're not the only one that cries. But I know that there are only two things in this world keeping me alive: music and your eyes. Keeping me alive. No salvation on the road. The only peace I know is home. I ain't in this for my health. Lord knows it isn't for the well. You are always in my heart. Music's always in my soul. And there's nothing in between. These two things that keep me whole. You're not the only one that's lonely. You're not the only one that cries. But I know that there are only two things in this world keeping me alive: music and your eyes. Music and your eyes. Keeping me alive. Keeping me alive.
Awesome, my friend.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's been brewing for a while. That's that was one that I wrote that about. Well, I mean, pretty obviously, it's about that some of those times that you don't really just want to go out and hang out in a bar with a bunch of weird dudes, and I'd rather stay home with my dogs and drink some wine in front of the fire with my wife.
Yeah, there you go.
There are days like that where it's not just I don't know who sold us this idea that we got to be out there working like dogs every day. I'd like to meet that guy.
Yeah, really. Um, but hey, if I'm going to be out there working like a dog, I'd rather be doing what I'm doing.
That's true. That is true.
There
are worse jobs for a dog.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Picking up a guitar and playing music is hardly my idea of working like a dog, I guess. So.
Yeah. No, it is a hard world. It's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do badly, let alone do well. I mean,
yeah, very true.
I mean, you really even if you're really really bad at it, you're still gonna have fun because it's still fun.
Yeah.
It's just a great moment. I miss the open mics that we used to do. I think that was one of the biggest one of the moments when I realized that oh, this shit's serious because we have to cancel the open mic.
Yeah.
That's
which
wow, man, that's an impact. Everything else I was like, okay, we can work through this. I can work from home. I got no problem. I can do all these other things. That's fine. There's no toilet paper. We'll work it out. We got washcloths. I'm all right with that. But what? No open mic? That was pretty.
I know.
That was pretty shocking at first.
It's funny because that's the one open mic that I really attended on a regular basis. even after I stopped going to open mic nights, I still showed up in Pearly Bakers. And
Well, I appreciate that because sometimes it was just you and me.
yeah, hey, but
I,
we still had fun with it.
we probably both wrote half of our new material at that at that open mic.
Or at least introduced it. If we didn't write it there, we introduced it there.
Right? Yeah.
I know I introduced quite a few songs there,
That's what
no
it's
doubt.
there for, man. That's what it's there for. That's the
Yeah,
whole idea. Is
it was a fun night, and it was laid back, and he did a great job hosting it, so it was fun, you know.
I appreciate that. It's
And most of the time when people showed up for it, it was quality people, you know.
Oh, it was good. There are nights I still my Facebook memories come up from some of the pictures I took from what people were doing on stage, and I was like, wait a minute, when did we have two trombones and a trumpet and playing with Dave Dubler on the guitar and Claudio on drums? Like, when did that happen? When did
Yeah.
when did half the Beeb show up and decided to sit in with us? It was crazy. There's some crazy.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll get back to that.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt. I have no doubt things will return to a shade of normal, if not.
Yeah. Yeah, once we get through all this pandemic crisis and things start to calm down a little bit. So, and I noticed that you've played out a couple of times lately, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, not a whole. I mean, not nearly what it was for sure.
Right.
That was partially by choice, but also by necessity too. But there were,
Yeah.
a couple of things just came up, and we were lucky enough to get to play at Bacon Fest for the Bacon Fest experience, which was it was weird because I mean it was really the first time we played that show. It was the first time that any member of Acoustic Kitty Project or that all the members of Acoustic Kitty Project have been in the same space in like 9 months.
Yeah.
We didn't rehearse. We didn't do anything. We just showed up, got up on the stage, and I damned if it wasn't one of the most fun gigs we've had because we missed it. So that energy translated. So it was a good thing. In fact, my drummer Bill Matlack said, he's like, maybe we should only play once a year. Think of how good we'll be then.
Yeah, really. Without rehearsing now, you can't rehearse if you're going to do that.
No, we never rehearse. That's the thing. That's what I don't want to rehearse. I don't rehearse well. I'm not a student. I don't practice. I don't rehearse. Not that I don't practice. I don't like to call it practice.
Yeah, you run through things on your own.
Yeah, I pick up my guitar and I play with
it. Yeah, rehearsal sometimes gets a little, I guess tedious is probably a good word for it.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I'm trying to learn something, I'm going to sit down and
right.
work through it and everything. There's effort involved, but yeah, I'm not
right.
I mean, there are some real players out there that know, every day they wake up and they do their scales and they do their, and they, run to the Rocky statue and drink a raw egg or whatever it is that guitar players do to make themselves so awesome. But that's not me. I'm not a guitar player. I'm not a singer. I'm a songwriter. I like to put words together with music, and that's what I'm lucky enough to do.
Yeah, I can relate to that definitely. I mean, I'll pick up my guitar every day, but it's more to write than it is anything else, and
well,
or to learn something.
Yeah, and I think that the job of the real job of a songwriter, the rehearsal is living and experiencing and expanding your repertoire and reading other stuff and listening to other music, and so in some ways our job is to have a whole lot of fun and then report back.
Yeah.
In song form, and that's really what a writer does. That I think that's the whole idea. You have to be a synthesizer of sorts, and so somebody's got to go out there and do all this the ridiculous stuff and write about it. So that just happens to be us.
Yeah. Now at some point in the show, there's one song you're going to have to play, right?
Which one?
Ah, come on now. What's my favorite song?
Well, it's the one I always play, so I always have.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I'll do
I mean,
that.
you don't have to play it right this second, but
I'll do that.
you can play another song and whatever you had in mind.
You know, it's funny. I gotta I'm gonna do a cover tune because it's funny that we were talking about the open mics because this I started listening to this song and learning this song. I think it was like last winter, so right before everything started shutting down. This song I heard it and it reminded me so much of all the folks that we know through open mics and in the music scene and everything, and that there's just so many different kinds of people, and we're all doing the same ridiculous work and the ridiculousness of running around with carloads of gear and trying to book gigs and stuff. But this is it's a Hayes Carll tune that I heard, and it really just resonated with me. So I'm gonna do this one. It's called "Sake of the Song."
Cool.
If you're nobody's business, your front page news, folk rock, country, Delta blues. Tell your truth, however you choose, and do it all for the sake of the song. Yeah, bus riding, hitchhiking, rental car, living rooms, coffee houses, rundown bars. Well, 10,000 people all under the stars. We do it all for the sake of the song. Well, there's the man who wrote your cheating heart. Well, he's lying through his tooth. He plays it on a stolen heart that's up in 100 proof. And there's the one who might be happy, but for the writer's curse, she lost the crowd's attention by the 42nd verse. And it's the traveling salesman, the girl next door, the empty room to the third encore. Less is less until more is more, and it's all for the sake of the song. And there's the young man on the marquee. He's the son of some well-known. Well, his daddy bought the tour bus so he could strike out on his own. And there's a brooding contradiction. Well, he's holding Van Gogh's ear. He strapped it to his guitar in the hope someone may hear. And it's black parades and nudist suits. The next big thing is getting back to your roots. Duct tape, flannels, and high-top boots. And it's all for the sake of the song. And there's the mystic and the legend. And there's the best that's ever been. And there's the voice of a generation who won't pass this way again. And there's reggae deals and trained seals and puppets on a string. They're all just trying to figure out what makes the caged bird sing. Well, it's lights, camera, on with the show. Lifetime to get ready, now go, cat, go. Where it ends ain't nobody knows, but it's all for the sake of the song. So if you're nobody's business or front page news, folk rock, country, or Delta blues, tell your truth however you choose, and do it all for the sake of the song. Yeah, that's a Hayes Carll tune.
I can see where that would resonate definitely, where it would give you the the thought about what we're all doing. So
Everybody. There's so many different people out there doing this, and it's I think that's the encouraging part. Is that it's just when you look at it, it's just all a bunch of weirdos. So
yeah,
jump in, man.
yeah, absolutely.
Not putting a bad connotation on the word weirdo, by the way.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I just got a text message from someone who says Carson Wentz sucks. Can you guess who that might have been?
Well, I think it's probably a pretty big pool of people at this point. But
Yeah, one
prob-
person in particular.
probably it's either my guitar player or my wife.
Yeah, there you go. Ding, ding, ding on number two. Too much.
So what do you
So,
do, Ralph? Besides starting a career as a podcast broadcasting personality?
been playing out a lot, actually. I've been very fortunate to be working quite a bit, mainly as a duo with Mark Hannick.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah. You guys
doing a lot of cover stuff. But in the meantime, found some time to get into the studio and get the new album done, which comes out on the 18th of this month. So,
uh,
um,
and I'm digging the stuff that's dropped already. I mean, that was
yeah,
so nice. I just the progression, the man. I mean, and I've said this to you before that those dudes they really found your sound for you. Like they helped you really. That's such a nice. You've done such a great job. Finding that voice in the studio. It's
appreciate that.
it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got a lot of help from the guys out in Canton, Ohio, but Michael's pretty damn good with his ear and picking things out, and it's one of the reasons I love working with Michael because he hears things that sometimes you don't hear yourself,
Yeah.
and points things out, and he has a way of getting the best out of you, and you know, so it works out well. I mean, there there's still things that I think I can do better, and I'm probably going to think that with every album that I ever put out, whether
Yeah.
it's just these two or if it's another 22. um, I'm still going to feel like the next one can be better, and there's things I can do differently. So
I hope I never.
I surrounded myself with some pretty good people this time too. Ani Powell did a great job with the keyboards and the background vocals, and Mark Cernice is just an outstanding lead guitar player. And of course, I'm always bagging about my brother being the best bass player on the planet. So, it didn't hurt to have him on the album either.
No, that's awesome.
And,
Fantastic.
Chris Cummings set the pace. So,
Yeah, yeah. He's good for that.
and you've worked with Chris enough to know that, Chris
Yeah.
can be a great pace setter back there. So
I did some vocals. I'm not sure when that's coming out, but his new solo record that he did, Chris Cummings. I think he's calling it Chris Cummings on the Way.
yeah,
I'm singing a track on that album that was. Chris gave it to me and it stretched me as I just sang it. There was no guitar playing. There was no it was just me singing a song, and it was it pushed me a little bit, and it was a little scary, and Chris was there to make it all better, so it was good.
yeah, it's definitely a different thing. When you go from that,
it freaks me out to begin with, but then
yeah,
to be in the studio just singing, that's always my worst day. Is vocal day is the worst day for me.
I actually had a very good one this time around.
My emotional support animal.
But most of the time, the vocal day is like my worst 12 days, because that's how long it takes to get 4 songs down.
If I can't do it in one day, it's not getting done.
It's done, yeah. We actually did it in one day, and then I wasn't happy with a couple things, so I went back and fixed what I wasn't happy with. But
yeah,
I think that might be the first time I did it in one day, though. The first album I did not do in one day.
When you go in, that's the thing. You got to know you got to have a picture. You got to have a plan. You got to go in. You can't just.
Yeah. Wasn't so much not having a plan. It was just not being happy with the way it was coming out,
Well, that's good.
and then listening to it and going, I can do better, and and going back and there was a lot of that this time around too. It was not necessarily with any one particular thing other than the balance. Like
Right.
I was driving Mike crazy. Guitar's a little too hot here. Oh, bring the bass level up here. Oh, now I can't hear the background vocals. Okay. Look, mix number 36 sounds pretty good. But
Yeah, I can't let myself go down those rabbit holes. I can't do
yeah,
it. I
I
know
did this time around, and
I would never. Yeah, and I think that's why the studio is always so you know scary for me, because it is that potential to go down a rabbit hole. It is that ability
yeah,
to lose yourself in figuring out like milliseconds of delay.
right,
And
yeah,
do we need an extra 0.05? Like, no, no. If I have to think at that level, it's already done. It's already done. This is just rearranging the deck chairs. I don't think there's any point. So I have to, and I mean I've been very clear with him that, like, don't let me fall down like that, because I will never be happy, and I'll end up with a 15-piece band with string sections and orchestras, and I don't want to tempt that fate. So I just stick to the you guys figure it out. Let the musicians play the music. I'm just gonna write stuff and let them figure it
yeah,
out.
yeah. It's
Only
probably
if
not a bad idea.
I'll trust them.
That the thing with it too is like when you go into a production like that, then it becomes so hard to duplicate it solo acoustic. You know what I
Well,
mean?
there's that. Yeah, that's the thing, is that there's been a lot of stuff that, and that's one of the interesting side effects of this pandemic has been that I've been playing my own material at home, just on the couch or whatever,
Yeah,
and I haven't changed the arrangements, but I've changed quite a bit of the, like, there are songs that I'm playing at half tempo now that I wasn't, like that I slowed down, that I was playing as faster songs, and like, it's just take what you're doing and kind of rework it and play with whatever you feel, because there's nobody else in the room. Like, I don't have to play the version that I know that my band knows, or I can play whatever version of my own songs I want,
right.
and kind of keep working through them. And now the next time we get together, I'm going to bring that to them, and they're going to hear it differently, and they're going to play differently, and that's what keeps it alive. But
Yeah,
it is interesting though that you can, when you write something in the studio and then are faced with, oh my God, how am I going to do this somewhere else? How am I going to
yeah.
do that without Mike, or how am I going to do that without Dan? Or it changes it.
hmm It always starts out though as a solo acoustic song,
Well, and
at
that's
least for the
what
most part with me. And
that's what
you
makes it
know, it's just sometimes hard to force yourself to go back to that. Like, at least I find it that way anyway. I don't know. Some people may not. And
well, I think that's again the beauty of what we do, is that everybody
yeah,
can find their own way to do it, and
it's
whatever.
true. And it's our song.
There's
So
no
we can do it however the hell we want.
there's no rule book.
Exactly. Exactly. So what do you got for us next?
Let's see. What do I got for you next? I'm gonna do actually, let me do something a little bit quieter, well, sort of quieter. But, so this one also does not have a title, and this is probably the next one that's going to get sent around to kind of come up with a good demo version for the studio. In the morning when I rise, I'll be the man I want to be this time. Every day begins again. I can change the how, the where, the when. I've made music, I've made love. Neither one has ever been enough. What I call reality, nothing but the remnants of a dream. Chop wood, carry water. This life is like no other I've seen. Chop wood, carry water. This life is like no other I've dreamed. Baby, I've dreamed. What I call reality, nothing but the memories of a dream. And when the day comes to a close, I'm unconcerned about what I don't know. Let it be my epitaph. We're all born crying, have to learn to laugh. Chop wood, carry water. This life is like no other I've seen. Chop wood, carry water. This life is like no other I've seen. Chop wood, carry water. This life is like no other I've dreamed. Baby, I've dreamed. That's that one.
I really like that one.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. It's yeah, a little philosophical, but
Yeah. It's kind of deep.
had some time on my hands,
Yeah, I think we all have.
so that's what.
Done a few myself, so hopefully I'll get to share them with the world one of these days. So, we'll see. But most of what I've been doing is playing covers because that's what makes the money.
This is true. People like to sing along to things that they know.
Yep. And if they don't know it, they ain't singing, and you're not holding their interest if they don't know it. So
I think I have found though that I think the couple of gigs that I've played during the pandemic, I feel like the audience is more appreciative of the time they're spending listening to the music. Like,
yes,
with everybody sitting at home, and so the fact that they're out, I think people really tend to like. I've had more crowd interaction, and I'm not a crowd. I don't like to make eye contact with people. I don't I don't like talking to people. The reason I learned to play guitar is to put something between me and other people. So
Yeah.
like the level of engagement that I've seen is more than I think I've ever had in in however long it's been. But I think it's because people genuinely enjoy and appreciate the experience they're having, which
yes,
is hopefully something they'll take with them away from this whole thing and remember that that guy really made an impression on me, or that woman's voice really touched me in some way. I mean, again, we have all these songs, and these songs are become important to people.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're really starting to understand and appreciate that a little more.
I think with the smaller crowd too, you have a higher percentage of the crowd that is there because of the music.
Hmm.
They, you know, they pick and choose where they're going to go to eat dinner or where they're
True,
going to go to have a few drinks
yeah.
based on the fact that this place has music. There's entertainment, and it's I'm not going to go out and just sit at a tap room and drink beer.
Right. No matter who's there,
But
I'm going to my place, and I'm just going to do my thing, my routine. There's a lot of people that have fallen out of their routine and and say, hey, we haven't been out in a while, and Ralph's playing, so let's go see Ralph because we like Ralph. We've seen Ralph before, but when Ralph, when back in the pre-COVID era, when everybody was playing 4 nights a week, all over the place, it was like, oh, I can see Ralph anytime.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. It's it's scarcity. It's scarcity. It actually helps to be.
It is
playing a little bit less, or at least not going out as often.
I feel as entertainers, it's not really our job to fill somebody's room. You know what I mean? Yes, you can bring a couple people there, but your biggest impact, I feel, is keeping them there. If you get a decent sized crowd there and they're enjoying what they're hearing, they're going to order a couple more beers.
Yeah.
Maybe even order an appetizer a little while after dinner just to have something to munch on while they're drinking that third extra beer because they're enjoying the music. And if they're not enjoying the music, then they're going to eat dinner and leave.
I've also kind of thought of it as we're stealing their customers too. Because if that person sits there and listens and orders another beer and really likes your stuff, and then they're going to go somewhere else to see you the next time. So
very possibly,
if we develop a following based on the places that we're going, there are going to be people that go to those restaurants that are now going to go to other restaurants to see us.
Unless you're playing at that particular restaurant on a regular basis.
Right, which is why I try not to do that.
Which is why what?
It's why I try not to do that. I try not to, other than the open mic and the Bastard Sons. Those were the only 2 recurring things that I've never wanted to be a house band anywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
That was just something I feel like there's something about every gig is new. Every gig is fresh. Getting too much into a routine, I think sometimes it can kill the mood. But
it's nice to have a spot or 2 where you're there on a regular basis, though.
Well, yeah.
So those gigs are coming.
I had open mic in the Bastard Sons. I had 2
Thursdays
a month. I knew where I was going to be.
Yeah.
And those were like my free days. Like those were the days when I didn't have to have a set list planned. I didn't have to know who was playing with me. I didn't have I could let those days go, and those were actually the days when I didn't feel like I was working. I was just setting up equipment.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. When I was hosting the open mic, same thing. It was great. It was the gig, but I'm setting up equipment. You guys are doing all the work. Hey, have fun.
Yeah, and that was the kind of the cool part of it is that those
dates
that I did have anchored in were dates that I really just showed up and saw and got to be part of it, not just me being the show or me having to, again, set lists, contracts, whatever,
Right.
There's a lot of work. There's a lot of stupid work behind the scenes that people don't think about. And, honestly, that's the stuff I didn't miss. I didn't miss having to worry about Facebook updates, and I didn't miss having to worry about making sure that, I was transmitting cross-platform, blobbity, like the marketing part. I didn't learn how to play guitar so that I could become an expert in marketing.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Having to do any of that stuff has really not been that big a burden for me.
And I do it all the time, and I'm still not an expert, so don't feel bad.
No, and I don't think anybody can be. I mean,
now, somebody that's an expert in marketing can handle my stuff for me if they want. I'll be fine with that, but I'm not even close, and I know I don't even do enough, so it's hard to. What's more important?
Well,
writing your songs. You know,
the balance. It's all about balance.
yeah, exactly. Cool, cool. So we got time for a couple more songs, so
Okay.
definitely.
So let me do the one you want to hear. I'll get that one out of the way.
See if you guessed right.
See if well, it involves a harmonica, right?
Yeah, probably.
Well, if I'm doing it right. Yeah, I'm assuming that if Becky is if she's live, if she's actually watching this.
She is.
So the funny part is that, and I just she doesn't come out to every one of my gigs, and that's actually a good thing because she probably get really sick and tired to hear me say all these things. But every time I play this song, I have a little speech that I give, and the band knows it. The band knows it by heart. They could probably recite it right alongside me.
I probably can too.
Yeah, so it is that I wrote this song for my lovely wife, and I played it for her on our wedding day, and it was incredibly sweet, and you all should have been there. There was a big boat of shrimp.
You didn't invite me.
Well, if I would have known you, I would have invited you, Ralph. But anyway, I forgot to play the harmonica part, which she reminds me of every time I play the song. So I play the harmonica part because that's my job. But we like the song so much that we named an album after it. So this is the title track off of our first album. And the song is called Shine, which means that the album is called Shine because that's how title tracks work. And it goes like this. Blue eyes, red wine, all our dreams are coming true. Firefly, night sky, lighting up for me and you. I'm gonna love you like nobody's ever loved you with this crazy heart of mine. And I'm gonna love you like nobody's ever loved you. And I love turn the rain to shine. River wide, mountainside, let it be a lifelong serenade. When you smile, my bride, I see all the love we made. And I'm gonna love you like nobody's ever loved you with this crazy heart of mine. I'm gonna love you like nobody's ever loved you, and I love turn the rain to shine. I'm gonna love you like nobody's ever loved you with this crazy heart of mine. I'm gonna love you like nobody's ever loved you, and I love turn the rain to shine. Love will turn the rain to shine. Love will turn the rain to shine. Love will turn the rain, the rain, the rain, the rain to shine. That shine.
Yep, I knew that.
That's how that goes.
I've heard that song once or twice,
Once or twice.
or 2,000 times, and,
1,000 probably.
and I still love it.
Well, thank you, Ralph. See, I thought you were gonna be playing stuff too. I thought this was like a.
No. This show's all about you, man. This isn't about me. I've been on Michael Duck's show. I've been on Tom Cooney's show, and yeah, I'll play my music then. But one of the things I said when I first started doing this show was, if I'm going to bring a guest on, then the show's going to be about the guest and their music and what's going on with them, and not me. It's not a self promotion kind of thing. It's more about you. So, and they're all going to be like that.
I'm blushing.
So I didn't even tune my guitar.
Do you ever?
Of course, I use Elixir, so I don't need to tune it. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
They do stay in tune though, definitely.
No, those are good.
Yeah.
I've started using the Martin Lifespans.
Really? How do you like them?
They're pricey, but yeah, I don't, because I don't change my strings either. That's the unless I'm recording, I don't change my strings, because if I go into Mike Carr's studio with old strings, his head will blow off the top.
Oh yeah, exactly, he will.
But as far as playing out and stuff, I really like the sort of that dead string sound. I like the way this D35 sounds with those sort of thumpy, the first guitar I ever played, it was a Spanish guitar, so it had the nylon strings on it. So
okay.
I like that sort of thumpy sound. I've always appreciated that classical, the nylon tone. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't stand that dead string thing. It's like the thing with elixirs. I feel like they last forever, and they sound great right up until the minute that they're ready to go.
Yeah.
And the minute they're ready to go, they go from like 60 to 0 in 2 seconds flat. Yeah. And I don't even like the feel, let alone the sound. It's like I can tell just by the feel.
Yeah.
These strings sound like crap. They're getting changed in the morning,
Yeah, they let you know. They let you know when they're done.
Oh yeah, they do. They do. And I started using them on my Ovation, and I didn't think I'd ever use them on anything else, but then I put them on my Martin, and I love the way it sounds on my Martin too. So there it is.
I mean, the type of guitar that you're putting the stuff on matters. That's
yeah. Oh yeah, it does. I'll have to try the strings you're talking about, the new Martins.
Yeah,
because I've heard a lot of good things about them, but pricey doesn't matter because elixirs are pricey. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that you're still not going to change them for a while. So it's you could get the $7.99 guitar strings that you're going to change every week.
Right.
Breaking them, or.
So I pay $17.99 and I change them every 2 months.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and right now there's an elixir shortage. I guess nobody has elixirs in stock. It's like I went to 3 different places and nobody has elixirs in stock. I even went to Amazon and they don't have the ones I use.
No.
They have elixirs, but not the ones I use. So I guess, when the pandemic hit, everybody went out and bought toilet paper, paper towels, and guitar strings.
The staples,
Yeah. Yeah. Things you absolutely have to get through a pandemic. So, quick question for you, but I do want you to play another song before we go.
Oh.
You said you're recording at home and kind of sharing the demos out and stuff. What software are you using, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, right now I'm literally just playing into GarageBand. I'm just on my Apple. I am not an engineer. I don't pretend to be an engineer. I don't play an engineer on TV. I am taking what's on my laptop and trying to figure out how to make it work for what I've got, just to put the ideas down and get some.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
cool.
I'm going to take those and send them to Mike Carr and say, hey, let's figure out what this is going to sound like in a studio. Or
yeah,
I am not. I don't just like. I can barely finish a song. Let alone worry about what it's going to sound like with the arrangement and how, like, all that kind of stuff. Like I've got some of the songs that I'm playing now that I recorded some things, but I'm like, maybe it needs a verse, maybe it needs a bridge, maybe it needs, like, I don't know if it's done or not. So I'm
Yeah.
just kind of sending it around to get some ideas to hear where maybe it'll go. But so
Cool.
I can't even think about like orchestration or you know, it's
Nothing fancy, just boom, GarageBand done.
I just throw it into GarageBand and say, okay, now it's recorded, and I've had other people listen to it, so they know it exists. So
Yeah.
at some point,
Gotcha.
you know, at one point, Nick Capozzolo from the Moondogs and
Uh-huh.
other projects that he's involved in, he was like, dude, when are you going to send me these tracks for me to record the bass line on this song? And I was like, when I'm happy with them. Eventually, he got.
I've been messing around with Cakewalk, which is supposed to be.
I used that a long time ago. That was good. Yeah.
Yeah. Supposed to be a cheaper version of Pro Tools.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
and
haven't really gotten to the point where I'm happy with anything I've recorded on it yet. So, and mine was the same thing. It was, the idea was to get the demo tracks done, send them like down to my brother in Florida, have him work on bass lines, and you know, him and I come up with a couple different ideas, and then when I go down to visit him in January, we can sit there and work on the songs, you know.
Yeah,
So
it's something
and then
just
go
a
from
little
there.
better
So
than just a phone recording that you can send to people. You know, that's really what it is.
yeah, exactly. All right, well, we only have a couple minutes, and then we're going to cut into Angie's show, and we certainly don't want to do that. So,
No, we don't want
you
to.
know, because I don't want to bring up the wrath of Angie, but she does a nice show afterwards. It's called Whip It Out Wednesday.
Oh no,
Is coming up next, right when we're done. So why don't you go ahead and share another tune with us real quick?
Sure, yeah. Let me do the all right, yeah. I'm gonna do the one that I've been playing lately. This is another songwriter that some folks know, some folks don't know. But he's become one of my favorites lately. The Sturgill Simpson song. I've seen Jesus play with flames in a lake of fire. I was standing in. Met the devil in Seattle. Spent 9 months inside the lion's den. Met Buddha yet another time. He showed me glowing light within. But I swear that God is there every time I stare in the eyes of my best friend. Says, my son, it's all been done. Someday gonna wake up old and gray. So go and try and have some fun, showing warmth to everyone. Meet and greet and cheat along the way. There's a gateway in our minds, leads us somewhere out there far beyond this plane, where reptile aliens made of life cut you open and pull out all your pain. Tell me how we make it legal, something that we all make in our brain. Some say you might go crazy, then again it might make you go sane. Every time I take a look inside that old fabled book, I'm blinded and reminded of pain all caused by some old man in the sky. Marijuana, LSD, psilocybin, DMT, they all change the way I see. But love's the only thing that's ever changed my life. So don't waste your mind on nursery rhymes or
fairy tales of blood and wine. It's turtles all the way down the line. So the reaches on till we go home to other realms. Our souls must roam to end and through the myth that we all call space and time.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
For you folks.
Carter, I can't thank you enough for joining us tonight, man.
Ralph, I
Definitely appreciate spending the time with you.
Something to do, man.
Yeah. It's been way, way, way too long since we've seen each other.
Yes.
And
this isn't good enough. We'll have to
You
do
know.
something. We'll have to,
yeah,
fingers crossed.
absolutely.
Fingers crossed. It's going to be a long winter, but
Yeah, hopefully things will ease up very, very soon, and we can all get back to some semblance of normalcy. And
whatever that is.
yeah, whatever that might be. But yeah, it's definitely been too long, man. Definitely gonna have to hoist a beer and play a few tunes together
Yeah.
one of these days real soon. So
Thanks for thanks to Steve and Tony and Rock in the Valley and all the folks putting this stuff together and out there just keeping on. So thanks to you guys.
and thanks so much to everybody who tuned in. Next week we'll have Jack Perone on. So
Oh, nice! I got to tune in for that. I love Jack.
Yeah.
I haven't
yeah,
seen
so we're heading back to
him- I haven't
Easton.
seen him in forever. either.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, me either. So it'll be fun to have him on too. And we're gonna not always be local Lehigh Valley artists, so there's gonna be stuff on from out of the area and stuff too. So we're gonna kind of spread things out a little bit, but obviously I'm gonna bring local artists on a pretty fairly regular basis. So
You guys.
we'll definitely be a good show next week, and then I think Bill McConney's the week after. So again, thanks so much for being on. If anybody missed it, they can watch it on YouTube, either on the Rock in the Valley channel, or I'll put it up on my YouTube channel tomorrow. So and it's always there.
Awesome.
If they want to look at any previous shows, they can do that too. So, all right, sir.
Sounds
All right,
good.
man.
Thank you.
Tell your wife I said hello.
Oh, she's
And
in bed by now. But
yeah, actually been carrying on a Facebook chat with her the whole time. So I've been talking to both of you. It's been great.
just like old times.
Thank you. Yeah, good stuff, man. All right. Take care, Carter.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, man. Thank you.
You gotta keep the fire.